Hello. A few days ago, I sat with Evangelist Joshua Milton Blahyi, who went by the nom de guerre General Butt Naked. More than 2 decades ago, during the Liberian Civil War, when he went to the front, he fought butt naked, hence the name. But 27 years ago, he gave his life to Jesus Christ, and today he's an evangelist of the Lord Jesus Christ. In this 2-part interview, in the first part, he tells me why he has decided to support the presidential bid of former Vice President Joseph Nyuma Boakai. And also this part, he tells me how Liberia is infested with narcotics. In the second part, he tells me how he met the Lord Jesus Christ. Tag along as he tells me about a research that he has done on how every village in Liberia is infested with narcotics.
So Alaska, what I show you in there, that research I show you in there, I went on that research with the aid of retired American colonels, where every village in this country, out of every 10 village, there are 8 villages infested with drugs. People taking drugs in. Out of every 10 villages, 8 villages, people are taking drugs in it. And I'm a herbalist who was trained in witchcraft. And so I know leaves. And so you see these leaves, I can take drugs from them. But I'm using it to treat this addiction that is in these children. Since 2007, I have helped 580 young people. And I got this information that I show you since 2019. I have never come up to even talk anything about it. Like I said, I've been working with these children since 2007. But my frustration, what you see now is a real frustration where a sitting government who have led us for 6 years do not have any message to convince us, but projects adamant, projects proud, projects arrogance that their partisan are chanting, "We want Kush," is an insult to my effort. My 16 years effort is an insult. And with that, whatever that I said that you have come to authenticate, and there are excuses about them bringing leaves, herbs, and what have you, it's more worrisome to know that they're not bringing the raw material as drugs, and they are bringing herbs that they can make drugs. That means there is a chemist in this country that my research need to extend to. Then it's more dangerous. If they want to make excuse and bring in some herbs, bring in some leaves, we want to see those leaves. I saw it on pictures, but I want to see it literally. Liberians should worry them more. That means there is a chemist in this country that is producing those drugs and is going to kill a lot of people. Everywhere they produce drugs, the experimental stage, whatever mistake you make, I believe is what is because of this chemist that is here. I believe that's why Kush started killing people, because they did not reach the perfect mixture. They do not understand the perfect dosage, because the children, there are some Kush that are not killing them and some Kush killing them. So it might be out of the making that where the mistakes come and the children smoking it, they're dying. So if that leaves that have diazepam, narcotics in it, then the country is in trouble. Because one mistake, there's no proven medical lab in this country that people making even pharmaceutical drugs from. So why will you be breaking such leads? So from this discovery, from this excuse they're making, it get me worried the more. It get me worried the more. Because every mistake in the mixture of drugs, even these herbs, it damages some part of the body. So why are they bringing those leaves? Which which zoo how they call it, chemist house they carrying it to? Which laboratory they carrying it to? What are they going to do with it? And so this nation, the nation should know that they need to be worried the more. Mothers should know they need to be worried the more. And if the drugs bill is passed and is passed as non-bailable, when a crime is non-bailable, the accused is arrested until they are proven not guilty. If I was accused for rape now, no matter how big I am, I'm supposed to be apprehended until I am proven not guilty. If I'm accused of murdering somebody now, I should be arrested until I'm proven not guilty. The names that came up on these drugs that are non-bailable, let's say it's a lie and the name Finabono was mentioned, is she apprehended? If she is not apprehended, then drugs is still non-bailable. It's only bailable on paper. Because when the crime is non-bailable, if the accused can never be free. The accused cannot be passing around. The accused can never have their freedom until they are exonerated. Now, if it is what this government can offer us, shielding people accused of non-bailable crime, it is sufficient evidence. I brought you here to show you deeper things, but as I dropped the phone with you and started thinking on our brief conversation, and I said, well, this thing, there is no more evidence for it. If a non-bailable crime accused is not arrested yet, then this government is part and parcel of any such crime.
Have you made any form of representation to the government of Liberia?
Yes, I did. The same way an ultimatum was made by my project for when I condemn the casket toting, and the president came out and made a disclaimer and advised and said he's not part of it. I used the same media and asked them to say, look, we are not part of these ladies, these women that are saying we want Kush. And up to now, they were given 72 hours ultimatum by my project. It extended 2 more days. It extended 2 more days. It went 9 days. And that's how I came up with these declarations that they are not qualified to lead us. If they cannot disclaim, if they have not up to now disclaimed themselves, and they are supporting, they are backing, they are making excuses. Their only excuse is that this is not the only government that drugs that drugs is in this country. Well, it is true. Like I show you the chart. I show you the chart tracing drugs from the 70s that came into this country through these concessions companies, like Lamco, BQ, Insino, Bond Mines, and all those things. I show you how it was increasing during the military time when those boys who were smoking ordinary opium, you know, started visiting those concession areas because it's where the country, and you know, the guys were getting their money from and think, they started meeting up with friends and think that could show them something more than opium, more than marijuana. Then I show you also the statistic during the war when drugs became a basic law, where we used to go on the international waters to bring drugs, buying from the Mexican ships. Then I show you the chart today that out of every 10 communities, there is 8 affected communities with drugs all across the country. Children are slaving in the gold mine, working whole day, and the only thing they get as their pay is drugs. They don't even have money to take home to their families. They don't have money to take home anywhere. They work, and the end result is drugs. Forget about the criminals who go to risk their lives. When they were caught stealing one phone, they are beaten to death. That phone is, that risk of their life is only taken to go please a drug law, to go please somebody selling drugs. And so this broke my heart. It broke my heart, and I'm not going to hold back. We're going to do everything legally, legitimately, to change this government, because it do not have the compositions to protect the next generation.
Now, if the government remains in power, now that you are frustrated, as you said, are you going to just abandon your project and let the young people to leave?
If this government remains in power, I tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to blame the people, the population, that did not exercise their fragile right. And so I'm going to complete this place and take the money 10 times what they pay here. Because actually, if you take your child to Ghana for rehabilitation, you pay $8,600 for 9 months. If you take your child right here to other rehabs around here, the least you will pay is $375 a month. The $70 you pay here per month, this is the best. Go all around the country. This is the biggest, the best rehab. I will take you around to see the process and see what we're doing here, and go compare it with any other rehab. It's the best rehab. I will take it to $1,500 a month, so that the parents who think drugs is good, when they tire and want to help their children out of drugs, they will pay severely. And nobody will even see me. You will pay your money to the bank. Nobody will come beg me the way people can come. Oh, yes, I ain't getting one. I didn't want again. I get it one. I didn't want again. What have you? It will never be done here.
So in other words, you're going to end your frustration on the people.
Exactly so. The people who voted, who voted the government again. Because we're going to do everything to police their vote. If they vote right, we're going to do everything. Our surveillance is going to do everything that their vote speaks right. So they should not be afraid. They should vote this government out.
And are you recommending any of the other candidates that they should vote for?
Now listen, I, from being a spiritist, I went to be a warlord, general commanding people. And so in strategy, in war strategy, in any strategy for fight, you take advantage of the person's weakness. And then you take advantage of the strength that you have. The strength the nation have now is Joseph Boakai. So I could not, with such frustration, jump behind any other candidate other than Joseph Boakai, because none of them is effective. It's an effective vehicle to remove this government. And so from my surveillance, from my observation, I see that Joseph Boakai is the closest tools to push this government out. So I put in my weight behind Joseph Boakai.
Now that you are supporting Mr. Boakai, and you are in this fight to help eradicate drugs from this country, what has Joe Boakai told you? Have you seen any policy from Joe Boakai towards his fight in drugs?
Well, I have not read policy. I'm saying I see him as the closest vehicle to remove him. Now, if he's removed and Joseph Boakai is not able to fight drug again, we'll not do anything. We'll bear it. We'll say, okay, people, no problem. We'll still bear it the same way. 6 years from now, again, then we're removing again. We'll leave doing it until we find a person that will help this country. Other countries been fighting drugs 100 years now. And so if I just go 13 years, or 16 years rather, and a government coming out, I will put you again to 21 years.
You made one powerful statement last night that no country has won the war against drugs.
No way.
Can you just explain a little bit about that?
Yes, because drug by itself is money. And most of the support are gurus, financial gurus in the country. But there are laws that when you are busted, you pay for it dearly. It's a game. It's a game. Just how I'm using these herbs to detox, I could get tempted one day and use them is to start producing substance to make the children high.
I was about to ask you that question.
Yes.
I mean, you know herbs, as you said.
Yeah.
Both to do and to undo.
Yes.
Why are you not using the do to make more money?
Because it's against my conscience. I have done so much harm to this country, and the harm I did, there is a dark cloud before me. I don't know my fate. Even this government that I'm voting that is insisting on war crime code, I don't know if they will be the one that will take me to jail. And that is already before me. I cannot afford to doubting my conscience again. Since the good book have said, if I'm able to confess my sin, I will be forgiven. Well, not forgiven by men, because men do not really have the eternal forgiveness, but forgiven by God. And I have tried it, and over the years I have experienced some level of freedom, clear conscience. When I'm walking in the street today, there is no heaviness on me. Before I went to the TRC, as I'm walking with 2-3 persons looking at me, I'm thinking that this person is saying, I killed this, I killed that for them. And that consciousness, that guilt made me heavy. But since I went to the TRC and spilled out all of my wrongs and what I have done, and as the Bible says, if I do that, I will enjoy forgiveness, I will enjoy some peace. I'm enjoying it now. I don't want to doubt in my conscience again.
In 2008, you appeared before the TRC.
Yeah.
And said everything you knew.
Yeah.
And you are on record of saying you came more than 20,000 persons, you and those that were fighting along with you. And you pleaded for mercy.
Yeah.
And your name did not appear in the final recommendation of the commissioners. Now, but you just mentioned War and Economic Crimes Code. If your name is ever called to that code, will you be willing to go there?
Definitely. And I believe what TRC did was just a recommendation. The inductees for persecution and the inductees for amnesty. I was recommended for amnesty. It's just a recommendation. The court could come and say, well, that recommendation, we turn it down. You just heard Alan White recently mention my name and what have you. So 100%, the possibility of going to jail is like 80%. And the possibility of being free is 20%. Civilization don't have sentiment, but I know even if I go to jail, my Lord will receive me. And that corridor to heaven is what I'm not willing to doubting or to block anymore. That's why I cannot turn this into narcotic drugs.
Now let's talk about the young men that you have with you in the compound on your mission. What are you doing for them?
Well, so let's go through the drill. Besides this man who is like a son, a little brother in the community, everybody here came from the ghetto. Everybody you see in here. Everybody here came from the ghetto. They're the people that we used to call Zogo. Today, look at them. Are you seeing them? Can you see difference in them? And I have photos of them when they came. See this man who looking like some kind of diplomat now. When he came, he was almost like, I don't know how, skeleton. Zombie.
He himself says zombie.
Zombie. So here we have our detention, detox detention. When they come, we keep them in there to be detox. That withdrawal syndrome have some challenges where the person think you're killing them and they will do everything to save themselves by running away when the time come for the withdrawal.
When you say withdrawal, what do you mean by that?
When the drugs is leaving their system, they need more drugs. It put them in a state called withdrawal. And it's not easy, it's painful. Some of them will be toileting, some of them will be vomiting, they will be having back pains and all kinds of things. I will explain that later, why it is so. So that's where we keep them for some time. And after that period pass, we bring them down. That is the boys' dump. This is the girls' dump.
Oh, you also had young women there too?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the girls' dump. The first batch, 2007, I took of girls, all 10 of them got pregnant. So I stopped taking girls. But this last batch, I went to a ghetto to recruit some males from some boys. And a girl asked me, Brother Joshua, or Daddy, why do you hate girls so much? I said, why? She said, I have been somewhere 4 different times you recruited boys, you did not recruit a girl. Why? And I explained to her, I said, well, the first girls I recruited, all of them got pregnant. She said, I prefer getting pregnant than to die in the ghetto. Please take me out. That's how I came and fixed this place and put iron gate on it. So in the night when it's getting dark, they go in there and we'll lock it up so that the boys cannot go there for a real quarrel.
Now, what are some of the stories these guys tell you when they come from the ghettos?
Well, you will ask them by yourself. Okay. You ask them by yourself.
This is an expensive venture. How do you get your support?
God Almighty, friends, no government. I started this project during Edding time when she told me to help her break down the Soladi barrack that is on BTC, where her son football field is now, BYC football field. It's where Soladi was. And I took all the notorious criminals from there, and she promised to fence my 2 acres of land. And she did not do it. And she went to fence the graveyard. From that time to now, no government have done anything. We have a floor and broke a lot of things down, so we can't do anything. So these are the rooms. This is our chapel. So this place is actually built for 50 persons, 25 bunk beds in the 3 rooms. But since the Kush attacked the country, we're now using the cafeteria. General, we use the cafeteria. We reduce the cafeteria to rooms now. So this is the only small place now we have for the kitchen, but this whole place was the cafeteria. Okay. It's like, right, okay.
So at the moment, how many young men and women you have here?
In total, 103, 93 male and 10 women.
I see you got very large pots here. I mean, people must be consuming a lot of rice.
1.5 bag of rice every day.
You mean a small 25 kg?
Yeah, 1.5 every day.
How many times you feed them?
Well, this few days we've been feeding them only 1 time. We used to feed them 3 times. They dropped to 2 times. Now it's 1 time because no money.
Okay.
So we have their football field here. Now that cell you see, sometimes we put 10 person inside, 15 person inside, 20 person inside. It's not healthy. So we're now building a new detox cell where 1 person. This is going 4 stories, 4 floors. 1 person will have their little room and their bathroom. Each room have its own bathroom, another room, and a bathroom. So it's going 4 stories. So we'll be able to host 16 persons at a time in individual room to avoid the sickness. We're trusting God for the money.
So for this project, how much is going to cost? How much is going to cost you for this project?
Well, because we have our own construction, we do construction here as a course, carpentry and everything. With $73,000, we'll complete this place. With another $14,000, we'll complete this place. Because we build our own material.
This place ahead of you, what is that?
This is school. I will explain that to you later. Okay. We have our own budget to reduce the cost of feeding. Make our own bread.
Oh, okay.
We also have. We go to the art class. These are beds we're making by ourselves. Carpentry class. So this is our art class. You know these shirts, we do them right here. They hoodies.
Oh.
We do them here. These are the cloths. We do all right here. Look at these bags. All these things. This is what we did. And we're supposed to be presenting as a project to rescue one. This is scatter. We carve them ourselves. This is for rescue 2. Rescue 2. Rescue 1 is Joseph Nyuma Boakai. Rescue 2 is Jeremiah Bankun. It's done by JAV, the Project Journey Against Violence, and the movement PLADA, Proud Liberian Against Drugs Abuse. So this is now today. Now this place is small, and most of the children are interested in the art. So we put up this building, 3-story building, for the art. Up, down here, we use wood to do our floors. And if we had just small push from this government, instead of going in the street sometime, sharing 1.5 million Liberty on drugs addict, put them in line and give them 5,000. Is there anybody here who have been in the ghetto before? When they gave 5,000? You ask around. Anybody here who have been in the ghetto? The Indian people want this. Here is our weathering and fabrication shop.
I see no machines are there.
Yeah, the machines are here.
Okay.
Machines are up there.
Okay.
But it's from where we do all of these things ourselves. You see the 10 people there? We do it ourselves. The beds. So here is a classroom. This is also going 4 stories. 1, 2, 3, 4 floors. So these are classrooms. Because we realize if the man comes from the street and he's 24, 25 years of age, and he's in the 8th grade, and he only learn carpentry, nowhere he can go, he will not be confident to go to school out there. So we want to provide special education for them here, where they can do their WAS and get their certificate and go to the college if they want. So we opening academic classes. This is the first classroom, the second classroom, the third classroom, 4th classroom, and this is the bathroom. This is the staircase to go up, as you see. 5th classroom, 6th classroom.
And you say you need 73,000 to complete this building.
Complete this building.
Do you also have partners out there that are helping in the process?
No.
This is from your own initiative.
And just yes, few friends. That's not like partner.
Okay.
You know. So there's our clinic. That's the doctor's office you're in, or the head nurse office. This is the pharmacy. This is the cashier. These are wards. Male ward, female ward. This is for delivery. And this is the bathroom side. Because we're going to be doing more science courses here, This is our laboratory. We want to have, by the grace of God, state-of-the-art laboratory here.
You mean for testing substances or producing?
For testing substances and for teaching. For most of the time, the WAS, our children are not as effective because they do not have practical experience to laboratory equipment. So this is the mini lab, and this is our library.
Oh, it's a huge
are
place.
going to be hostesses, rooms.
From your estimate, how many persons are going to be in each class?
Our classes is not going to take more than 20 persons. It's going to be a state-of-the-art class. And it's not going to be like a class like the regular school. The math class is the math class. The science class is the science class. So students will leave from one class to another class like the university. So we set up the whole math and everything in it, class, and it's in it. So you see these beds, we made them ourselves.
From your wedding shop?
Yeah, from the wedding shop. All these tents you see, these are 3 floors beds. 1, 2, 3. So these are tents. Now, because we know the school, we don't have the money to finish the school. We're just going to slap this side because this is, like you see the football field, this is going to be a basketball court. It's going to be closed over. The whole place is going to be closed over. So we're going to smooth this place now and then build most of these things as classes so that 2 classrooms you see here. So that we'll start our classes there very soon. The next time you come here, you're going to see it. Now, Alaska, with all of these efforts over the years, and you hear people chanting, we want Kush, we want Kush, we want Kush in the name of running campaign for someone. It's an insult to my effort. So that's where all of my frustration comes from. So any of these guys, you can talk to them. Talk to any of these guys. Ask them their experience.
Now let me ask you this question. Yeah. You say you're frustrated. That is why you're going to Joe Boakai. Is it real because you're frustrated you're going to Joe Boakai, or just that you want to change of government?
Yeah, the government insulted my effort. So I'm frustrated with this government to change them. And so Boakai is the easiest tool.
Assuming the president hears this interview and then comes and calls you for some talking, will you change your mind?
Not really. I cannot change my mind because the evidence around that I would now take it because the president met me in Bishop Winger's church, Dominion. And I was proud that the tears set in my eye when Mr. President was given the chance to talk, to respond. It was a groundbreaking ceremony to respond to the bishop and every comment that was said. He stood up and the first thing he said, well, people say, I don't know books, so maybe I can write my speech before I respond to it. I'm quoting him word by word. He said, but before I give my speech, I want to recognize my friend and brother, Bishop Joshua Milton Blahyi. Even though I'm not a bishop, but that's how he called me now because I'm quoting him. And I stood up and saluted him as usual, gave him his courtesy. And he looked in my eyes and said, thank you for the way you have transformed your life. And not only that, you have transformed and you are transforming the lives of many young people. I will show you photos of the president's little brother, the one who was in his house where they say they are crazy man, told down he's something and what have you, dying from drugs, and I brought him here to help detox him. So the president knew about this project. If not, he wouldn't have told me thank you. He said now that God have exposed him and his intention to this country, that I come out and every Liberian come out, that he will now call me to say what actually. What is he actually going to say to cause me to change my mind? If the president gave me $73,000 to complete this place, I will complete this place. I have my jersey in there. My jersey carries 14. and his name is on it, I still respect him for what he needs to be respected for. So I will respect him. I could even, because these dormitories have different names by the way we receive the funds and think to put it there. I could even put his name on this building, but it's not going to change my mind on removing him, because it is proven that he do not have what it takes to protect the future of these young people.
Thank you very much, Evangelist Blahyi.
Welcome, Alaska.